Friends, guess who is starting a new business? Now, for the last couple of months, we've been keeping things on hush mode, and we've been building behind the scenes, working to expand the Demaya Unique brand, okay? Now, the Demaya Unique brand has been in existence for the last 3 years, but I'm now getting to the point where I want to actually expand things beyond just Demaya Unique, because it can just get exhausting when you have built a brand that just requires your face. And we're gonna get into all of that, like my honest thoughts and all the things. But if you are new here, I am Demaya Unique, okay? I am your multi-passionate, purpose-pushing, visionary friend who has a big dream, okay? And before I slowed down, I was literally running at the speed of lightning. I always say, call me Lightning McQueen, okay? Because I was doing everything from coaching to branding to hosting events. But for 2024, I obeyed the Lord, okay? And I slowed down and just moved with more intention and grace. And literally slowing down has helped me so much with making wiser decisions, thinking long term, and just the overall structure I want for my brand, as well as building multiple streams of income, because we need money coming from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not just building, one business. Like the vision that I had was to build a multifaceted brand with sub-brands underneath. And basically sub-brands are just kind of separate business ventures, but they don't exist on their own. It's all attached and tied into the overall vision. Think P&G. Okay, think P&G. They own Tide, Gain, all the things. So that's kind of like the vision that I had for the Demaya Unique brand. But in the beginning, I kind of was just testing and trying and like launching different products. But now that we've slowed down and I've been able to step back a little bit, we got clear vision and I understand how I want to structure everything and how I want everything to exist. And so that's where we are. And so I just want to take you along behind the scenes and show you, okay, like all the things that is going on. So today, I want to catch you up with number one, how we got here with this new business venture / sub brand. And then I'm going to show you some behind the scenes of like the brand development. We're going to get into the branding, the brand name, and what exactly it is. Are you excited? Comment below. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Okay, so how did we get here with this specific business venture / sub brand? Now, for those who do not know, I am super big on intentional living, like purposeful living, all the things. Like that is a part of my story. It's a part of Demaya Unique. I'm an ex-procrastinator, all the things. Like, girl, my life was a hot mess and I had too many responsibilities to be planned and lack time management. Okay, so I had to buckle down. So I literally had history and my story was honestly built from that. And I mean, also, friend, I don't call myself the purpose pusher for no reason, okay? So this was something that I live by, I coach, and I teach others to do. And it's because I learned the power and the benefits of actually living an intentional life. I want literally to be everything that God wants me to be, and I want to do everything that God has assigned for me to do. It's giving very much maximizing our potential, okay? And I believe when you live an intentional life and you're very mindful of what you are committing to, I believe that is the path to maximizing your potential, walking in purpose, and all the things. And so in 2022, I built my first digital planner, okay? And it's so crazy because the first planner that I built was actually for myself, because I personally couldn't find a planner that that use the methods that I use. Now, before I built this planner, I think bought like a random planner off of Etsy because, I was an iPad girly. And so I started off with, a regular planner, but then I was like, I love these features. It's like it's great for, regular things like appointments or, special dates you need to include, but it wasn't helping me to plan or live an intentional life. And so again, I created one for myself because I personally learned to plan by priority. I again am the friend who was doing the most. Like I was unorganized, but very much busy. And with me, my priorities got all out of whack. And so I began to feel the pressure and just feeling burnt out and unaligned, right? Because I had committed to so many things, said yes to so many things, which caused me to say no to the things that I was supposed to be doing. And so from that experience, I then learned, like, sis, you gotta plan your life by priority so that you're not neglecting anything and you don't feel unaligned or unbalanced, if you will. And so basically I began to again test out some things, and I developed my first digital planner, and I began to use those methods. Now, what's very crazy is, again, I was the girl who was multifaceted, multi-passionate, booked and busy, being a daughter of God, a wife, a student, and an entrepreneur, all at the same time. And again, I was always the girl. Since I've been 14, I've been the girl with a large plate to balance. Like so many things, so many balls to juggle, okay? And at this time, I was just showing and documenting, different things that I was doing in my life on my Instagram stories or on my Instagram. And people who followed me at that time wanted to know, how do you do it all, friend? Like, how are you an entrepreneur? You in school full time. You know what I mean? Like, how do you have the discipline? How are you consistent? How are you getting things done? Okay, because we get her done over here. How are you doing all of this? And so this is where the Intentional Living Planner for Visionaries was born. So the first one launched in 2022 for myself, and then the second one launched publicly in 2023, and then the third one just launched in 2024. So I quickly began to realize that this product that I barely marketed did numbers all by itself. Like all I was selling was the Intentional Living product, like Intentional Living Planner. Like I was just selling productivity, planning, like all of those. That's the only thing that was selling for that product, and I barely marketed it. So I began to think to myself, what if this was something that could exist on its own, and with, special attention and marketing, doesn't require my face, but because of the message behind the brand and the story behind the brand and, again, the product itself, the solution itself, we could create a brand and sell the message and the solution all by itself without my face. So that's the backstory. Now it's time to reveal the name. Let's take it back. Reverse.
Okay, friends, so I am in the process of building out one of my sub brands, and that is called Detailed. Took me a little minute to get here, but Detailed is the Intentional Living brand. I was going to name it the Intentional Living brand, but it's too common of a name. And so right now what I've landed on is Detailed, and then either the slogan will be there's intention in every detail or planning down to the very detail. And just basically, like, it was so crazy even how I got this revelation, but basically I was in the shower and there was a worship song in the background, and part of that worship song said there's purpose in every detail. There's purpose in every detail of my life. And so that really hit home for me, because intentional living is about paying attention to the details of your life. And we all have our own life's details. And so that's kind of where the name came from. So basically I am currently planning out like the brand identity and social direction for the brand. And I'm still kind of playing around with it, but let me show you. So basically, this is the mood board, like, so far that my intern helped me put together, like the colors, patterns, and everything like that. I'm not for sure set on that, but basically I also created like a concept, like, Canva board, and so like these are the fonts that I'm thinking about going with, and then this is the handwriting font, and then, like, again, these are the main fonts. This is the font pair, which I think is Poppins, and then this is, again, the handwriting font there. And basically what I am currently working on is the sketches. Now, let me know in the comments. Of course, by the time this launch, it's probably going to be put together already. But my idea with this, of course, you know me as Demi Unique. So, like, I have an apostrophe in my name. But I didn't just do that just because I have an apostrophe, but I also looked up that apostrophe is used to indicate to indicate possession. And so basically, like, what I thought about is how the details of our life is our own and not anybody else's. So like this apostrophe like really brings home like the possession part. Like, these are my life's detail, right? Or details. And so that's kind of why I did it like that, just because I feel like it also gave a little bit of spice. But this is one of the logo concepts, and then this is it without it, and this is kind of where I am right now, just to show you like the Pinterest board of what we're working with. As far as concepts, like, I really do like how like there's like symbolism within it, and then I also like this like thick and thin type of ordeal. And so these are like the fonts and like concepts that I'm looking to go in. But yeah, y'all, we're making progress. And I'm going to be, of course, taking y'all along with me as we build. But today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, June 11th. And so tomorrow I'm going to be hopefully wrapping this up so we can have it done by the end of this week. Perfectly.
So, you know the new name, which is Detailed, our intentional living brand. I want to again show you the final branding and the colors and all of that fun stuff. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you. But first, let me tell you my honest thoughts about expanding my personal brand into a product-based business. I honestly don't like it. I love it, friends. I literally love it. And here's why. I love my personal brand. I love what I've built over time. I love being able to show up, tell my story, be an example, be an inspiration, be a motivation for others. However, having a personal brand also comes with pressures of having to show up 24/7, because honey, I can't pay an influencer or a UGC creator to be Demi Unique, right? Like, I can't delegate, creating YouTube videos, creating content, creating different things to other people. And so when it comes down to me showing up and me having to sell, me having to show up to sell or to make money, it can just be exhausting because I'm a human, child. I'm not a robot. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I just want to be real about my journey and my experience, especially for those who may aspire to build a personal platform or tell their story. I feel like having separate ventures or, other, sub brands, I feel like is freeing, honestly, because I'm able, I just felt like a huge relief of me being able to detach personally. I don't know. I just feel as though even being, having my own personal brand, it can feel like everything is so personal, right? Like, even when it comes down to what I sell and like how I show up, it's so personal because again, it's me. It's a brand built off of me. So just like, for example, Chick-fil-A or any other brand, Amazon, Nike, Apple, like these brands, aren't built off of the founders' faces. And I think, again, for 2024, of course, like, we're living in the generation where, like, companies are becoming more personal. And now we have things like personal brands, public figures, all of those things, influencers and all of those things. However, there is still a pressure on the CEO or because I'm not just the personal brand, right? I am also the CEO and founder. So not only do I have to show up, but I also have to make strategic decisions for how to move in the brand or in the business, right? And so, again, I feel like a huge relief having a separate sub brand that does not require my face, and more so the focus is the message or the product or the solution. And so I just feel a huge relief being able to detach personally and also being able to think long term, because I think, again, this is, it's cool for right now, right? Like, I'm doing great right now, but like, we want kids, we want a family. And honestly, like, social media is not everything. And I don't see myself forever being in the public space. Sometimes, again, it's good for your mental health to disconnect and go on, sabbaticals and all of those things. And so just wanting pieces of My Unique to exist without My Unique being there. And so, yeah, friend, that's where we are. Those are my honest thoughts. Now, before we go, let me show you the final look of the new brand, Detailed. Let me know in the comments how you like it. Bye.